Peace, peace, world. What is going on? Happy Friday. Welcome to another Substantial Weekly. My name is Substantial. Welcome to the YouTube channel. Shout out to everybody in the place right now. Do me a favor, if it's your first time watching, go ahead, click that subscribe button. And to everybody, be sure to like the video. To everyone in the chat, man, peace to everybody already in the place to be with us right now. Shout out to Greenface, who was legit first today. Shout out to so far Sal. Shout out to Marcelo, C Cruz. Good to see you up in here, fam. I know it's been a minute. One Love, watching from Sweden. Dope, dope, dope. And of course the homie Warpath. Good to see everybody up in here, man. Hey, Uncrowned Otaku came through as well. So shout out to everyone in the chat, man. Today got a little bit to talk about, a lot of stuff that I've been talking to you all about already. Some quick reminders, all that good stuff. And of course, we got the super chat is live. And to those of you who want to contribute today, our goal is to get 5 super chats. And if we do that today, I will spit a little something for you live, since that went over so well last week. So yeah, man, definitely, if you can contribute, please do so. And we will get a live verse, maybe a song. We'll see. So last week I spit like 2 songs live, played some new music, all that good stuff. It was a good time, but we got a lot to cover today. So let me get this info up. Shout out to TC up in here. All right, thanks for tuning in. Hold on, something is missing. There it is. Cool. Hey, Uncrowned Otaku, not wasting any time, man. Thank you for the contribution, family. Appreciate it. Shout out to Words, Beats, and Life. Just reminded me of something. For those of you curious about the windbreaker I'm wearing right now, this is official Words, Beats, and Life merchandise. You can check out our official website, WBLinc.org. For those who don't know, I am the deputy director of Words, Beats, and Life. And this weekend we have our annual festival called WBL Fest in Washington, D.C. Yesterday we had 3 events, if I'm not mistaken, that have already happened that were really, really great. And today we have more events going on. And shout out to DJ Spinner, who's rocking tonight. We'll get into more of that a bit later. But yeah, man, so much is happening. Definitely wanted to keep y'all in the loop. I'm trying to fix something behind the scenes real quick, because I just forgot to do something. So before I make this other announcement, let me make sure it is set up properly first. But if you haven't already said where you're tuning in from, please let us know. Let us know where you're watching in the world. And if it's your first time tuning in, because there's some of the names that popped up I haven't seen before. So if it's your first time watching Substantial Weekly, go ahead and let me know in the chat. Yes, all right, found the issue. Let me fix this. Boom, boom. Got it. And I think, yes, all right, figured it out. All right. So, to everyone watching real quick, if you're watching on YouTube, as we all are, if you click refresh, you should be able to see the donate section because all of these videos that I do outside of the super chat support, for some people who maybe watch this a bit later and maybe don't contribute to the super chat, that's fine. Another contribution that you can make could be to the organization I work with, Words, Beats, and Life, bang, right there, to help support hip-hop education. So if you refresh the video, you should see the donate button under the video, and supporting our efforts. Hey, Jersey City in the house. Shout out to Jersey. Clap it up for Jersey. Clap it up for Sweden, Florida, and of course the DMV. Everybody in the chat repping. All right, let's keep it pushing. Let's see if this other thing is gonna finally work. All right, thanks. So cool. Yes. All right, so let's bring this up really quickly so we can get these reminders out the way, fix these banners and such. Boom. So just another reminder that WBL Fest is in full swing. It is happening. It started yesterday, doesn't end until Sunday. Now, heads up, we are dealing with some rain in the area and stuff, but the events are still happening. Most of our events are indoors. We do have one event on Sunday that is outdoors. It's our biggest event. Already over 8,000 people in the DMV and people who are traveling to the DMV. Already 8,000 people are confirmed to be attending. They've all RSVP'd for this upcoming Sunday, which is our live concert. It's called our Park Jam. Jazz and Blossoms, our official Park Jam, which features Arrested Development, also features Master Ace, Sound of the City. My bassist, Jonathan Smalls, who plays on a lot of the music on Adultish. He played on Animal Arithmetic, different albums and stuff and songs I've worked on. He also played on Anaconda's project that I produced. So that brother will be performing live, man. He's performing live with Master Ace and Sound of the City this weekend. So that's going to be super, super dope. And if you hear something in the background, it's because your boy is... I'm a lover of oranges, man. Fun fact about me, if you didn't know, orange is my favorite fruit. But it's for a weird reason, right? Like I'm one of those people that couldn't eat a lot of different fruits without having a small, like a minor reaction to it. So oranges and citrus fruit in general were like the only ones that I could eat without having a reaction. And that's still true to this day. Most fruit or whatever, like I still have like mild reactions to a lot of it, not all. Definitely has gotten better over the years, so I can make it through. But apples, stuff like that, pears, etc., etc., it's not a good look. But oranges have been good to me, son. They've been good to me. So, yeah, I'm over here feeding my face. Shout out to So Far, clearly a Master Ace fan because someone raised you right. So orange is your favorite fruit and color. That's kind of funny. I mean, you know, I'm a simple man. I'm a simple man. I don't ask for much. At least that's a good one. I'm just saying. Okay. Sorry to be eating in your ear. My bad. Joshua in the building. What up, Josh? Man, hope the family's doing well, man. Thanks for tuning in, bro. So yeah, again, Words Beats and Life Festival happening now. If you love the events that we're throwing and stuff like that, or love the work that we're doing in the community and want to support, you should be able to click the donate button under this video. For those of you who don't see it, just refresh the video and it should pop up. But yeah, man, shout out to everyone who's already supported. So far, we have raised over $252 through this channel for Words Beats and Life. All right, so thank y'all so much. Nice Afro, what up, bro? Good to see you up in here. Shout out to everyone in the chat, you know. Quick sidebar, man. Some other dope stuff is happening. Let me run through these events and then we're gonna shout out the homie in a second. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. Let me fix this. So yeah, man, these events happened yesterday and they were super, super dope. Shout out to the poets who all performed at the Millennium Stage. Shout out to everyone who copped some Words Beats and Life merchandise as well. We greatly appreciate it. These events were dope too, man. Shout out to the homie Black Picasso, my man Patrick. And the Time Capsule event was also equally dope. So these are all the events that happened yesterday. Today we have another event happening at Bus Boys and Poets. Yeah, man, it's the weekly open mic that happens in Brooklyn. Definitely come through if you can. And tonight, you can catch me hanging out with the team and helping to move this WBL merch at the DJ Spinner party, the Beats and Life rooftop party featuring the legend DJ Spinner, and also featuring DJ Gina Marie. So come through. It's gonna be super dope. Great time will be had. So that's what's happening tonight. Tomorrow, from Southside to Uptown, WBL Student Gallery. The opening is happening tomorrow, April 5th. It goes until September 25th. All right. So definitely come through, check that out. And then that evening at 6 is the official Slamtastic event, youth open mic and poetry slam. Come support these young people. Hear some amazing poetry, man. We got a lot of talent here in the DMV. It's gonna be dope. So that's happening tomorrow evening, and then what was it? Sunday we close out with the official Jazz and Blossoms Park Jam happening at Franklin Park, featuring Arrested Development, Master Ace, Kokai, Master Ace with Sound of the City, Kokai, Black Folks Don't Swim. You got to say it like that every time. Black Folks Don't Swim. Shout out to them as well. Former clients of Substantial Art and Music, as well as Rob Brown, who is an amazing poet, who I also produced something on her last album and something on her upcoming album. So shout out to her. Shout out to Poe MCs who will be doing their thing, as well as DJ Stylists. But stop the presses. Hold up. We got my sister from another mister in the building. Clap it up for Stephanie Gale. Yeah, what up, Steph? It's Steph, y'all. Steph is dope. Don't need a reason to say it. It's the truth. You know what I mean? Yeah, other than it's the truth, you know? What up, Soul Tiger? In the building, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. All right. Let's see. Hey, we got to see that movie, yo. The missus ain't trying. She is not. So, Pete, let me take this off the screen. So, Pete, me and the band were talking last night because we're going to all try to, well, those of us who are available, of course, going to see Jonathan perform at Jazz and Blossoms with backing Master Ace. So that's going to be super dope. But yeah, we were just talking about the next time we hang out, the next time me and the band hang out, and how we want to see the new movie from Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler called Sinners. If you have not seen that trailer yet, yeah, you need to do that. This is Ryan Coogler's first horror film / thriller. Looks really, really dope. It's a period piece. It's also like a vampire film. Kind of has a little bit of oh my god, I know the name of the movie. It has vibes. What's the joint with Robert Rodriguez? From Dusk Till Dawn. Like with it's Robert Rodriguez film with George Clooney and Salma Hayek and Quentin Tarantino. Yeah, man. It definitely has those vibes, like maybe minus some of the silliness or over the topness of From Dusk Till Dawn, but still feels over the top though, a little something. So I'm definitely excited. Steph says, I'm not a huge horror fan, but I do love Michael and Ryan's collabs. Yeah, man, this will be their 5th film together. Fruitvale Station, which is an excellent film. You've never seen it. Shout out to Early Bird in the chat right now. When me and Early hang out, Early, man, my bad. I noticed I missed your text yesterday. It's been crazy with the festival. I'll follow up today. But yeah, Early Bird, whenever Early invites me to the movies, it's always to something that's likely going to make us cry. So 2 grown men sitting in the theater next to each other, just like, man, that was amazing. You know what I'm saying? Fruitvale Station had me punching air, fam. That thing, oh my God, man. I cried at the end of the movie. I got in the car, cried more. Got home, hugged my kid and my wife, and cried again. I was just like, man. Of course, if you know the story of Oscar Grant, it's already infuriating, just off the strength of that. But then, like, the film as well, you know what I mean? Just kind of adds to that energy. But great film. Check it out if you haven't seen it. Bring some tissues or figure out what you're going to do afterwards to address your anger. Also did Creed. Also did Black Panther. Also Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Which it's funny. I know a lot of that movie is kind of divisive. A lot of people or it's like polarizing. Like, people either liked it or they didn't. There's very few folks kind of in the middle. I'm one of those people that loved it. I definitely thought it was a lot better than it's given credit for being, especially considering the circumstances in which they had to make it. But I'm super, super excited to see the new joint. It's going to be dope. Let's see. Salma Hayek turned us all to men after that movie. I don't know, fam. If we're talking about my Salma Hayek moment, it might have. If I was about to say a different word, but I'm not going to say that word because I'm an adult now. But I would say that moment happened for me. The moment I became a Salma Hayek fan was watching. Oh my God, what's the joint? Desperados. Yeah, son. Yeah. That joint was crazy. That joint was super dope. But shout out to Robert Rodriguez, man. All right. All good. And Kev, man, that invite's for you too, bro. If you want to join us to see Sinners, we haven't decided when we're going to see it. I'm definitely one of those people. I like to see it as soon as it drops. So it's likely going to be that weekend. And also, I don't want to see The Monkey. The Monkey? What are we talking about? I don't know what you're referring to, Steph. Wakanda Forever was beautiful. I agree. That joint had me leaking in the theater. The touches on diaspora and the diaspora and the connection. Yeah, yo, come on, fam. That movie is very underrated. I don't even bother debating folks on it. I have my biases, and I'm definitely one of those people who has no problem admitting to it. But a lot of times it's tough having conversations with people who clearly have biases as well, but don't acknowledge that that's what's informing their decision. You know what I mean? And it's just one of those things. Like a lot of people, of course, being that Chadwick got passed, already felt like the movie wasn't going to be that great. A lot of people forget part of the reason why Marvel made that decision early on to not replace Chadwick was partly because of how the public responded. When Chadwick passed away, a lot of people felt as though he shouldn't be replaced. And so, of course, when it first happened, that was people's initial energy. A lot of people forget that. But yeah, man, it was, it was beautiful. I think that was the best, at least in my mind. I can't really see how they could have done a better job going the direction that they went. And then, of course, like how they flipped Namor, or how they call him Namor instead of Namor. Just how they flipped his story and stuff like that. Crazy. So, yeah, man, excited to see what the future holds or whatever for Marvel and stuff. They've been hit or miss for a little while now and stuff, but yeah, man, I know y'all ain't come here to talk about movies, but we talk about whatever the hell we want around these parts. You know what I'm saying? And we can start the Q&A early as well, man. If y'all got questions, let me know. We are 4 super chats away from hitting our goal today, by the way. You know what I mean? Let's get to these comments. It says, Bet, let me know. I will. The Monkey is another horror film. Oscar Perkins and Steve McKay. Oh, you talking about the old joint? Yeah. I thought you was talking about something new. Yeah. I feel you. Chad was passing. Still one of the most painful celebrity deaths in recent years, for sure. Yeah, I don't sit around like getting overly emotional when celebrities or just people in general, I don't know, have passed away, unless they've really kind of impacted me in a significant way. And that was definitely, yeah, man. Like, one, I didn't know Chadwick personally, but a lot of my peers in the DMV definitely knew him. He's a Howard alum, and so shout out to my man Priest the Nomad. They were tight. They were in a play together. Shout out to Jabari as well, Jabari Exum, who also was tight with him. Matter of fact, y'all saw my homie. You saw the homie Jabari traveling with Chadwick when he was promoting the Black Panther film. And so he was like a musical director, like for all things the African drumming on the set of that. And that's a homie from the DMV. So yeah, man. So knowing a bunch of people who knew him locally and stuff and how they were impacted by it, and then also just being a fan of his work, man. Like, it's dope to see somebody who made it to the level he made it. It had so much integrity, right? Like in terms of what he chose to do and how he carried himself in public. So it definitely hit different when he passed, to use a cliche. But hold on for a second, shift this energy to good vibes, because man, thank y'all for the super chats. This is wow. I don't know if anyone's ever asked me this question before. I got to think about it for a second. How did she react? I should call her in here. Rochelle, I don't know if you're watching, but if you are, come through. Because otherwise, what I'm about to do, I'm going to see if I'm going to shoot her a text. But if the text don't work, I'm going to get loud and ignorant and scream for her through the wall. You know what I mean? That's what's going to happen. So we're going to shoot her a text. And we're going to see if she remembers. All right. Hey, come to the studio for a second to answer a question. All right, we're going to see if it works. All right. But if because I figure rather than me say it, you know what I mean? Let's hear it directly from her, because I actually can't remember the first time I played it for her. You know what I mean? So, so we'll see. We'll see. All right. But thank you for that question. We're going to come back for an answer. We're going to see if we can get it directly from the source. And then if not, I'm gonna try my best to recall, because I honestly can't remember the first time. Oh, yeah. So you got a fan question? You don't want to be on camera?
I have grease on my.
Okay, I got it. You was doing your thing. Okay, she's cooking right now, so she ain't trying to do the whole thing. But the question was, a fan asked, how did you react the first time you heard the song Eclipse? That's what they wanted. She rolled her eyes. Do you remember?
Oh my God, it was so many years ago.
I know. And for the record, a lot of people don't know this, because I know Eclipse is the song that a lot of fans, they're like, that's the one, when it comes to like my relationship songs. But the reality of it is I've probably written like at least two albums worth of songs about this woman who doesn't want to be on screen right now. You just see her arm. But do you kind of remember?
From what I remember is we were living in our first place.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if y'all can hear her or not, but go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's all right. Keep going. I will translate. She said we were living in our first place
in Brooklyn and Bed-Stuy.
In Brooklyn and Bed-Stuy.
And it was one of those things like when you're in high school and you're listening to your CD players and you would read the credits. Back in the day, we used to read credits for all the young people. Mm-hmm. And I remember thinking, oh, how cool it must be to have someone write about you. Mm-hmm. And then here I am, however many years later, and I have a song written about it. It was very romantical. It was very romantical.
She said it was very romantical. So for those of you that couldn't hear the whole thing, what she said was, thank you, baby. I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you. All right. And Happy Mochi, Aria says hi. Hey. She said, hey, Aria, hey. Universal Black woman communication. Also, my sister says hi too. Stacy says hi. Okay, y'all could hear her. Good. All right, cool. So I ain't got to retell. But yeah, I do remember her telling me years ago how, like, how she remembered like being younger and hearing songs that rappers wrote about their significant others and stuff like that, or whatever, and how like she thought that was so cool, and how like it'd be cool for a song to be about her someday, not knowing that would actually happen, right? And so I do remember her telling me that like years ago, and so it's crazy, man. But I've written a lot of songs about that woman, yeah, man. Let's see. Oh, also R.I.P. to Val Kilmer. Yeah, man. Rest in peace to Val Kilmer. Clap it up for him. Underrated actor, man. I don't know if you all ever seen a movie, was it The Salton Sea? I think that's what it's called. Where he's like, I was going to say, we'll say he's a drug addict. I didn't want to give a spoiler. If you've never seen that movie, check it out. Underrated joint. The Doors movie that he did was he killed it in that role too. Another one of my favorite Val Kilmer roles was Tombstone. You know what I mean? Tombstone was super dope too. I'll be your Huckleberry. Yeah, man, classic joint. Rest in peace, Val Kilmer. Warpath, agreed. Very well known for Black Panther, obviously, but he was a great actor overall. Indeed. Rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman. My cousin Jamal was a Jabari tribesman for the first Black Panther. Wow, dope. That's what's up, man. Shout out to the DMV representation attached to the Black Panther film. Eclipse is a banger. Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Hey, Stacy. Shout out to my sister in the chat. You know what I mean? All right. She was not, the missus was not, listen, you know, for those who don't know my wife and stuff, she's a person that is perfectly fine not being the center of attention. She doesn't need to be don't need to be in all the videos. You know what I mean? All in the background of the songs. You know what I mean? Come over to Death Row. Shout out to those of you that got that reference. But yeah, she definitely is like somewhat low key. Like she has no problem stepping up in certain instances when it's pertaining to the business and different things that she's working on. But she's not a person actively seeking that attention and stuff. And it's crazy because even with some of the work she's done, like she's done research and stuff for like movies. So rather than trying to be an actor in the movie, like she's literally done like research for documentaries and stuff professionally, and a whole bunch of other stuff that she's done. You know what I mean? Like there's some voiceover work, like you'll hear her voice, but she ain't necessarily like on camera, you know? So shout out to the missus. Let's see. Did that. All right. And shout out to y'all, man. We are 2 super chats away from getting some live spittage. Some live spitting, some live rapidy raps. Man, this morning was crazy. So quick sidebar. Another update. Just recorded a new video game track. Can't say yet what it is because it hasn't dropped yet. But recorded another video game track. Literally woke up early. Got the kids situated. Well, the oldest getting herself situated. But the youngest got her situated, got her to school. And came back here, and before I started doing this work for WBL, knocked out really quickly, knocked out this joint for this video game joint that's probably gonna come out later this year. Only hints I will give is I've only done, I think, one other song for this particular game. So it is a video game that I've done music for before, but yeah, so new joint incoming. We'll see if they like it because I just sent them the first draft. Couple takes and all that good stuff. All right. Yo, what's funny about the Mrs. Stantastic joint that made me laugh is there's this woman, I can't remember her name, but she was a professional comedian who we knew when we used to live in New York. And whenever we would see her, I think she was from New Rochelle, and whenever we would see her at one of our mutual friends' cookouts, when she found out my stage name was Substantial, when she talked to my wife, she was like, well, if he's substantial, after talking to you, you are clearly more than enough, you know? So whenever she would see us, she'd be like, hey, Substantial and Mrs. More Than Enough. That is how she would refer to her, you know what I mean? Let's see. She's the sweetest, honestly. I got to make it back out there for us to eat together again. Yes. And we definitely got some places we can check out. So you let us know when you in town again. Good. Look, we all for it. You know what I'm saying? We are all for it. Awesome. And Stacy, let me know what it's going to be raining Sunday, but yeah, if you want to come down to DC and check out this festival that me and the organization I work with are doing, that'd be a great time for us to all hang out. I know we're talking about going to dinner. Me and the girls are talking. Me, the girls, and the missus are talking about going to dinner after. But we'll talk offline. I'm up here making family plans in front of everybody. But yeah, hit me up later today. I'll try to remember to hit you up before things get crazy today. Gonna go for a walk and listen to Modal Soul now. Peace. Hey, take care, Marcelo. Eclipse is a great classic. I think it was off of Metaphorical Music / Modal Soul. It's on Modal Soul. All right. By all means, move. All right. The Suge reference. You know. Get that video game money. Man, listen. Just keeping me in mind off these polls. You know what I mean? One super chat and one video game song at a time. You know what I mean? That's all. That's it. Hey, we got another dope individual in the business. This applause is for for all the great people in the chat. But yeah, man, shout out to my sister Stacy that's in the chat. Shout out to Orion Song that just joined us. And also shout out to Happy Mochi. You know what I mean? Been talking to you this whole time, but didn't give you the proper greeting. You know what I mean? But shout out to all of you in the chat, man. And just a reminder, if y'all want to hear a live verse, maybe song, whatever, you donate to the super chat and we will get that going. Hold on. Let's see what this said. Boom, boom, boom. They already got mine. Okay, cool. Just got confirmation that they've received the files for the video game joint. So we will see. We will see what the verdict is. You know what I mean? Yo, it's trash. Do it again. Or, hey, that's fire. Go ahead, send that invoice. You know what I mean? That's what we hoping for. Yeah, y'all send one up for your man. We trying to keep that light work action going because your boy's plate right now is insane. But yeah, man. Let's see. What was? Oh, yeah. Almost forgot. Wanted to shout out one of the homies real quick. Let's do this. Yeah. Bet. All right, got it up. So let's see if I can insert this into let's bring it up on StreamYard real quick. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. All right, bet. All right. Boom. All right, so let's get this on the screen so y'all can check it out. Let me adjust something. I'm just making sure everything is set up the way it's supposed to be. Yes. All right, cool. So, hey, man, if y'all haven't got the notification already, shout out to the homie Marcus D. He just dropped a new one. This song right here, Peace in the Party by the homie Greenspan. If y'all do not know who Greenspan is, man, I don't know what to tell you, but Greenspan is an MC from Baltimore. He was featured on, he's a fellow, we both used to be on Hypnot Records together a while back. And when I was had an A&R for Hypnot, I was able to bring him over to release one of his albums and stuff. And then he and I went on tour together. Me, him, and Marcus D, we toured the West Coast together, which was a dope experience, man. Shout out to Greenspan, one of Baltimore's finest. Dope MC. This is a new collaboration called Peace in the Party that Greenspan and Marcus D just dropped. I've been listening to this song for like almost 2 years. I had a recording of this joint and just been dying for the rest of the world to hear it because I'm just like, yo, this is crazy. So for those of y'all that haven't heard this yet, definitely check it out. I'd play it on the channel right now, but it'll demonetize the video and stuff if I play it and stuff because I know Marcus already officially released it. But yeah, man, definitely go check this joint out. Flames. I love seeing the homies, like people that either I help link up or like just different folks connect and stuff like that. So hearing Marcus D produce something for Green, man, was just like, it's just fire. J Soul has produced a couple joints for Greenspan as well, and it's always fire too, man. Shout out to Greenspan. Hope you're doing well, man. Got to link up with that brother again sooner than later. But definitely check this joint out. Super tough. Yeah. Yeah. You know what I mean? Oh, look, it's reminding me. I got something else I need. I'm about to buy a Malcolm Jackson joint. Let's go ahead and add this to the cart as well. We're going to put that there. You know what I'm saying? Look, it's only one joint, but we're going to throw him a 5 joint. You know what I mean? We're just going to add that to the cart as well. We're gonna pick up a couple homies joints today. Go shopping on Bandcamp. You gotta support your local indie artists, man. But yeah, definitely check that out if you haven't already. Yeah, the cover's good. I think it's AI art though. You know what I mean? So, I ain't one of those people who's overly judgmental about it and stuff. Like, if it work, it work. But it looks like it might be AI art. But I do love the concept of the art though. You know what I mean? Let's see. Another reminder, because I'm gonna head out of here in the next like 10 to 15 minutes. Definitely, man, if you want that live joint, it's all good. But def AI. Yeah, for sure. Any new Bop Alloy music in the works? Yes. Last week I actually played a snippet of a Bop Alloy joint with me and Javier Starks. I played it on the last live. Hey man, y'all say the word. Today, if we hit our goal, maybe I'll play another snippet of the new Bop Alloy stuff, because we got like at least 9 or 10 joints recorded already. So I'm just sitting here holding joints until we finish getting everything mixed and get this artwork going. So, if y'all want to hear that today, you know what I mean, as opposed to a live verse, you want to hear a Bop Alloy joint, maybe I'll let a full joint rock. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Say the word and we make that happen today. I think we can't donate now that the timer ended. That's all good. So don't worry about it. Even though the timer ended, anything else come through, regardless of the timer or not. Because I forgot to extend it because I think it was only set for like 30 minutes or something, which was crazy. YouTube is jacked up for me and does Cash App count? Yes, it does. And I greatly appreciate it. Thank you, fam. When you produce, do you ever rip samples from your records, or more so just digitally? It's been a while since I've taken one directly from a record. And that's partly because the record player that I have here, that one that's in the back, it's not like a good quality joint. I just keep that because it also has a cassette deck in it. It's CD, vinyl, and cassette. It's one of them cheap joints you get from Target. We always just liked how it looked or whatever. But my nicer turntable is actually at my office, so I don't even have it here. But these days I haven't been sampling a lot of like music, like copywritten music or whatever. Like on my last album, I did sample 2 joints, but I didn't pull it from vinyl because neither one of the projects was released to vinyl. So I did have to pull those samples digitally, and I cleared those samples. Shout out to South Penguin, amazing band from Japan who I sampled on Adultish for 1580. And then shout out to Tamara Wellens, who I sampled for the song The Long Route. And she's also credited as, guest vocalist, even though that's literally her vocals from her song. But yeah, man. So back in the day when I would sample, it was mostly from vinyl, sometimes from CD, and then digitally occasionally. Definitely the record has a different sound when you sample directly from the record. So like it's the best way just in terms of getting those additional textures as opposed to artificially putting those textures in there. That's definitely a preferred method. But these days, quite frankly, a lot of how I'm making beats when I sample, I'm pulling a lot of stuff from sample packs, just so I don't have to worry about clearance issues. And then I'm also bringing in, like, I'm doing some programming and some playing myself, mixed with also like different instrumentalists that I know, different musicians I know. So that's my process these days. Thank you for the question. Let me check something real quick. Hold tight. Okay, cool. All right. Let's see. Just trying to make sure something else is in here. Let's do these reminders and then I'm gonna get ready to get out of here. One, Well, also, another reminder, I will be at MomoCon. That is happening in May. We are about 2 months out. I'll be doing sketch pads down there and also be performing live. Sketch pads is going to happen on Thursday evening. And then on Friday evening, I'll be performing with Alan Z, who's had music in the television show Warriors, amongst other credits. Then the homie Asher Rule, who we all know from the Boondocks, the intro music to the Boondocks, and as a member of Unspoken Herd, which had fire music back in the day, especially for those of you who love jazz rap and that vibe. Definitely check out some of Asher Rule's early work and his older work. All of it's fire. Asher Rule's super dope and criminally underrated. Aztec is performing live as well. Aztec has done music for a lot of different animes. So he's performing live. Shout out to the homie Aztec. Shout out to my man Jay Live, another hip hop legend. I'm going to be rocking there. Javier Starks, my bro, going to be rocking, performing some of his new music, including this project that he has with Marcus D. That literally is based on the TV show Arcane. Like, so it's literally Javier rapping as the character Echo. And then the homie Superstition, another indie hip hop legend. You know what I mean? Definitely gonna be a great night. Hey, we got a first timer in the building. Dope. Coffee King Charles, welcome to the channel, man. Thank you so much for joining us. Be sure to hit that like button and all that good stuff. All the cliche YouTube suggestions that come from your host. Definitely appreciate you being here, fam. Thanks for joining us, man. All right. Question: do you ever do collabs of music with your fans? Yeah. So the catch is this, right? I've definitely collaborated with fans when they've reached out and I like the music. Obviously, budget plays a role in that too. Sometimes people can afford to do it. Other times people can't afford what my minimum rates are. And the rates, so it ain't the money piece, it's not so much about being money hungry or desperate for money. It's about time management, right? Because, there's times where I miss doing collabs. Like, I don't always get to collab with my friends as much as I'd like to. And my friends / the people I work with the most, the musicians I work with the most, we're rarely exchanging money for collaborations. It's usually like a barter situation. But a lot of times it doesn't happen maybe as frequently as it could, is because of how much I have on my plate. So to answer your question again, yes, I've collaborated with fans over the years, but a lot of times, the budget can be an issue, in terms of what my rates are and stuff. And what I tell people, because I had a situation where a dude reached out to me from a country that was in the middle of a conflict. And that was crazy to me when he said where he was from, because I was just like, bro, you living there now? And he's like, yeah. And, he was like, yeah, I'm here right now and stuff. And I was like, wow, man, be careful out there. So then he starts talking to me about the collab. And I was like, yeah, the track sounds solid and stuff like that. My rate is blah, blah, blah. And dude took offense. Like, he was super offended that I even asked for money. And I was like, fam, I'm not trying to exploit someone from your country in the situation you're in, but I'm also not the one reaching out to someone via email from a country that's in the middle of a conflict, asking someone I don't know personally to work with me for free. Right? Like, now, it'd be different if I could verify all the things and then the work I was doing was going not just to an individual, but a larger cause. You know what I mean? Like, there's a whole lot of variables. And so the thing I would say, this is advice I would give to any of y'all, man, like who are pursuing music, whether it's a hobby for you or if it's professionally. The expectation should never be that, the expectation should never be that someone you have no relationship with whatsoever is just going to volunteer their time, expertise, and skill completely for nothing, right? It's not about exploiting people in these situations. It's literally, for me, it's about time management. The budget part makes it easier for me to say no to stuff, because 9 times out of 10, when I take time to write a song, these are the things people don't consider. Artistic stuff aside, it's literally taking away from time with my family, right? Because I lock myself in here for several hours while I work on it. My daughters are right next door listening to me do this thing, but can't interrupt me, can't spend time with me, can't watch something, can't show me something they want to do, can't get help with homework, can't have me read a book to them or them read a book to me. There's a lot of things I'm not able to do when I stop to do that. And I think a lot of artists, and that's not even including the time with my wife. So just advice to anyone reaching out to other people they don't have relationships with. You should, before you even reach out, just think about like what it is you can offer. And sometimes, this is important, sometimes it's not about money. Just be ready to offer something. So here's an idea for you, right? If you can't afford to pay an artist to be on the track, what you could do is barter, right? If the artist really, really likes your stuff, and just tell them out the gate, like, hey, I do not have a budget for this collaboration. You can let me know what your budget is, but to be honest, I don't really have a budget and I don't make a lot of money. So it may be difficult for me to afford paying out a high amount. However, I'm willing to barter. If you really love my production, I can send you a batch of beats. And if you're willing to do something for my project that I can release, I'd be also willing to give you one or a few tracks that you could use for your own release. Just saying. Hey, fam, I've done the barter thing. Like when it's been a producer whose stuff I really, really like, where it's like, yo, I'd benefit from having some of this on a project. I absolutely barter. It's funny, man. When I work with Uyama, sometimes it's a barter situation. I do something for him. He does something for me. Right. And in some cases it doesn't even, for me, it doesn't always have to be that. But but it's just a way to justify the time that we don't get back in those situations. So I know that was a lot more than you probably were expecting, but just keeping it a buck with you. All right. Facts. Soon Come by Unspoken Herd is one of my favorite albums. That's a classic right there. Like and subscribe. Coffee King Charles, you are a real one. Thank you. I still want to send something through, so I'll do it through WBL. Thank you, family. I appreciate it. Let's see. Facts. Stupid question, but how do we do a WBL donation again? So under this video or under the chat section, you should see a donation button for that. If you don't, I will send you a different link. Hold on. And when you do donate, please let them know Substantial sent you. You know what I mean? It's just a way they can see the work that I'm doing for them. Even when I'm working for myself doing my own thing, they can see that I'm always showing them love and support. But if you don't want to donate to WBL here, you can do it using this link. Here we go. Boom. So this is in the chat now. Put it up on the screen so y'all can see it. And let me check to see if this other thing went through. Hey, man, shout out to those of you who contributed via Cash App. So good news. We officially hit 5 contributions to the channel today. Thank y'all so much. So let's play something. So my question for y'all is, what would you rather me do? Would you rather me like rhyme, pick a random beat, rhyme for y'all live? Or would you like to hear another unreleased Bop Alloy joint? The choice is yours. You know what I mean? Maybe I should make that a poll. I don't know. Let's see if we can do that. Yeah, I'll make it a poll. All right, here we go. It's gonna take a little second. So let's do it. Poll. All right. Let's say, would you rather Live rap or an unreleased song. Boom. Rap live. Play unreleased song. Forgive any typos. I'm trying to do this quick. All right. Boom. So y'all could go ahead and vote. Poll is open now. We have how many people watching live? We have about 12 folks watching live. So when we get close to 10, I'm gonna shut it down. Let's get back to these comments while the poll's going. Let's see. That's crazy. People feel so entitled. It's good to have those boundaries. Yeah, man. And it's wild too, because like so many people, I don't know how many different people, people have hit me up when I told them no, because they didn't have the budget, and they was like, yo, man, it's supposed to be about the love and stuff like that. And I'm like, man, you didn't hit me up strictly because of your love of hip hop. In some cases, there are people who just like love the music and want to collab. But there are other cases, and I can tell by what happens after they do it, how they push it online. People want that, in business, it's called brand alignment, right? People want to be able to align their brand next to yours so they can benefit from the name recognition, right? And sometimes it's because you're one of their favorite artists, 100%. But let's be clear, like, I've been doing this a very long time, and y'all know, man, I spend a lot of time on my show bigging up other artists that I work with. And also playing young artists who are like, man, the one kid, the kid Jay from a minute ago, man, he was still in high school. Like when we did our agreement, one, he saved up money over time to be able to afford my normal rate, which was crazy because this was a high school kid. Shout out to Marcus D as well. When Marcus D reached out to me, he was still in high school. He was 16 years old or 15 or 16. And yeah, man. He asked what my rate was. I told him what my rate was, and this kid scrounged up the money to do it, And after doing the 2 tracks with him, I spent some more time listening to his music, really liked his music, and then I talked with my management at the time, my agent who booked all my stuff for Japan at the time, had a discussion with him about Marcus D's stuff, his talent, and his sound. And I was just like, yo, I think this could be something if we went about this the right way. And I did a whole project with this young brother. And yeah, man. So the importance of Marcus having the decency, and not even just decency, but the business acumen to be like, I don't know this guy. Let me try to be as professional as I can be and not ask for a favor from someone who doesn't know me. Right. And it's a respect thing. Like, that's not how I carry myself. I've reached out to a ton of artists who either haven't responded to me or got back and said numbers I couldn't afford. And I didn't try to lowball them. I didn't take it personal when they didn't get back. I didn't take it personal when I did try to make a counter offer and they weren't willing to do it. Like, that's the business model they have set up for them. And that exists for a reason. And so, I learned from them how to carry myself. Shout out to Elzai. We never did a collab, but I reached out to him, got pricing and this, that, and the third. Shout out to Guapale, who never got back to me, but like, I get it. I sent her, God knows. I probably sent her like 2 paragraphs, if not 3, breaking down the concept of the joint I had, sending her a sample of the instrumental, letting her know that I'd be willing to pay, but likely don't have a budget that is maybe accustomed to what she normally gets, but I'd be open to hearing what her number was. I've done that a ton of times. As much as any of you all who make music have done it, I've probably done it significantly more. Until like some years back, I made a rule where it's like, if I didn't know you, I wasn't going to reach out for a collab. So that I don't even do that anymore. Like when people are like, yo, you and such would sound really dope together. I'm like, I check out their stuff. I'm like, yeah, it probably would be dope. I don't know them personally, so I won't be. Nope. Just because it's like, I wanted the people involved with anything I'm doing to have some, like, for me, it's pointless to have like a notable name on a track and then they're not willing to share it with their fan base, I've seen that happen to a lot of artists I know, where the thing comes out and then like the artist acts like it barely even happened. You know, I mean, man, there's artists I'm still cool with to this day. They don't even remember some of the collabs we've done. I'm like, yeah, won't be asking you for no stuff anymore. You're still a cool person, you know what I mean? But clearly we don't need to keep working because it's not that you don't necessarily value it the way that other artists that I know would value a collab with me. Because even when I'm doing stuff with them for their stuff, like I you know, I'm proud of what we did. You know what I mean? Like I share it with y'all. I create playlists that highlight these collabs. You know, I take it seriously, and I feel like a ton of artists are just kind of, it's just a way to pay the bills. And to keep it quite frank, I get a lot of money doing a lot of different things in this business. So I'm not solely reliant on collaboration money. And to be quite frank, the collabs that I do with video game companies pay significantly more in most cases, not all the time, but in most cases. So it's like, you know, you're in a unique situation where you can work with who you want to work with, you know what I mean? And not like try to force something with somebody who doesn't even value the collab. Like who? Yeah, F that. You know what I mean? I'm good. Hard pass, son. Let's see. I say whenever I play my guitar or bass or anything, that is my livelihood. I make a living off of it, and I'm sorry, but like you said, bartering has led to some good things. Yeah, man. There you go. So far says, and sorry it took me so long to get to the second part. So far says, do you find yourself finishing raps in one session these days, or do you prefer to mostly stretch it out over time? Yeah, I can usually finish a verse in one session. Sometimes verses take about an hour or less to write. Other times it take a little bit longer. Depends on what the subject matter is. Full songs I can sometimes write in a day, maybe 2 days. It's rare that I stretch out writing a song over like weeks. That's not really a thing for me. I can usually write a song in a few hours in a day. Sometimes it's like maybe a 2-day thing. Depending on like the recording process, like I'm sometimes still editing it while I'm recording, removing words or adding ad libs or whatever to kind of fill certain voids or make certain flows work better. And then there's other times where like when I wrote something, it made sense to me, and then I read it like a couple days later, or go to record it, play it for a couple weeks, and be like, yeah, I really need to change that part. And then what happens sometimes is a particular line that you said made sense at the moment because of what was happening in the world or in that particular city at that time. But then because it took so long to release, that thing that you pointed out that was an issue at that moment is no longer an issue. But when the song is coming out, because this happened with what's the song? Oh my God, I know the name of the song. I'm blacking out on the name of my own song. This is your theme song. The Crush joint. Cool It Now. There's a line in the second verse where the issue I point out in the beginning of that verse, that was with a particular city. By the time the song came out, or was getting close to the time that the song was coming out, that issue really wasn't like I did research and stuff like that. A lot of times people forget that the initial complaint or concern is usually louder than the response, right? And how the thing was addressed. So before I released the song, I went to see how the issue was being resolved, right? This is like dealing with Flint, Michigan, and their issues with water. And so I had read about some of the progress made from like multiple sources and stuff like that. And so it wasn't, at least from what I could tell, right, without talking to people on the ground out there, so a complete respect to that community, it didn't seem to be the issue that it was at the time I wrote it. And so then what I did was I pivoted to a city that was currently still dealing with those water issues, right? I pivoted to switch it to that city instead of the city that first made national and international news. So stuff like that sometimes will stretch the writing process a bit further, but that's more so editing than actually still being like locked in one place, like trying to write the whole joint. But anyway, I appreciate your honesty about things like this. I'm a big fan of the bartering system and wish more people would think about money. Think about money isn't always the only resource you can offer. Absolutely. One of the things I teach in some of the music business classes that I teach is I point out to the folks, I'm like, hey man, you know, we'll look at money or we'll talk about it. I'm like, man, it's just colorful paper. That's it. Like, what gives this value? And then somebody will answer and point out the thing that actually backs the money, depending on what country we're talking about. And I'm like, yes, but no, right? Whoever gave you that like, we, the people, for better or for worse, we actually add value, right? It's not the colorful paper. It's not the number that's attached to your bank account. It's understanding that you develop your abilities in a way, or your character, or whatever you like, whatever part of you, you develop it in a way so that no matter what setting you walk into, you add value. You understand what I'm saying? People are willing to pay me to do multiple things, not just rap or produce, but they're willing to pay me to do different things because they know that when I come into a situation, I add value. Whether they need raps, whether they need production, whether they need a teacher, whether they need a speaker, whether they need consultation, graphic design, illustration, all the different hats that I wear that's under the one hat I'm wearing now. No matter what it is, they understand that I add value. And so in some instances, a person is willing to pay money to do that, right? And that money has value because it's going to assist me with certain things I got to pay. However, sometimes there's a need where, like someone, I think it was Sal that was saying he plays guitar. Sometimes I need someone to play guitar on something, right? So I'll do the thing that he needs for him in exchange for him playing guitar on something that needs guitar for me. That's value. He's adding value outside of money. So there are so many different things that we can do to help other people. Man, there was look, you know, without putting the producer name out there, there was a producer that years ago, you know, he didn't get paid from me to use beats, use the beat that I used on my album back in the day. But what he needed at the time, he needed certain contacts that could help him with certain fashion design stuff that he was working on, certain clothing stuff he was working on. And he was struggling to find, this was early internet days. So like he wasn't able to find it, but I knew like I had like 3 or 4 contacts in that space that could help him. So I gave him those contacts, did introductions and stuff like that. And then one of them worked out perfectly. He made a ton of money off of that. And he was just like, bro, you good on the beat, man. That thing, like what I'm about to do with this is going to make me way more than whatever money you was about to pay me for the joint. And so that was the exchange. So understanding that the goal is, how can I add value no matter where I go? And when you understand that certain things you do add value in a variety of ways, people are oftentimes willing to pay for that, either with money or tap into their skill sets, their resources to help you with your thing. You know what I mean? Because they also add value. So that is our lesson for today, class. All right. Okay, let's go back to the poll. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see. Clicking. Where we at? All right. It looks like for the poll, we got 14 votes. And we have 17 people watching. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the poll. It looks like we're playing an unreleased song. All right, that's the winner. All right. Cool. They're like, man, nobody want to hear your old ass rap live. Play the song. All right, let's see. Let me answer some more questions, and then I'll play the joint before we go. The boys won last time. I want my live freestyle. I'm sorry, sis. Sent it out, bro. Man, thank you so much, family. Appreciate it, man. Some folks feel entitled just because they support you. And what's wild is too, like, what support looks like and feels, right? Like, I remember, and you know, I've said this on the show before, so I'm sorry to the people who've heard me tell this story 3 times. You know, I'm a man of a certain age. This is what we do. You know what I'm saying? You hit a certain age and you tell the same stories, right? This is how we carry on tradition. I'm sorry, not sorry. So anyway, a fan reached out and was just like, yo, man, I was in like the top 1% of people to stream you on Spotify last year, right? This is what the fan pointed out to me. And then they were like, this is the number of times that I streamed your stuff. It was like 2,000 times. And I told them, I was like, yo, I was like, man, first, thank you so much. And he was like, yeah, man, I hope you made a lot of money from that, man, and stuff like that. And, you know, and I was like, dude, just thank you, period, for listening. But to address what you just said, no, I didn't. Right? Because of what they pay, 2,000 streams is roughly about the equivalent of $8, right? Now that's only if I'm the only artist on the song. If I got splits set up, like anything that you listen to from me and Marcus D, literally, if you listen to that 2,000 times, that's $4 for him and $4 for me. 2,000 times. So it's always, when we talk about support, sure, listening is a form of support because that's your time too, and it is valuable. And we're all about adding value and understanding what that looks like and what it sounds like, all of those things. But the way the model of streaming is set up in terms of the pay model, even when you give a lot of time listening to this artist, it is not what a lot of people think. You pay more per month for that service than we actually get maybe for a year worth of plays for most artists, because the average fan does not listen to an artist that many times. That's why I thank the dude, because I already know. Even though I got over, based on what it said last year, there's over 1,000 people who listen globally who listen to me the way this dude listens to me, which was pretty impressive. Like, to know that I have that level of engagement with my audience, man, that's a blessing. Not a lot of artists can say that. But even that, you know what I mean? Like, streaming is not designed for people to survive off of streaming alone. That's something I tell the artists all the time. It's like, yo, we can be disgusted by these companies all we want. That business model is not set up for us to live solely off of that. It is one of several forms of income, passive income, that we can potentially receive. So what I've learned to do is, like, and y'all are probably going to notice this going forward, it's like I'm strictly treating it like what it is. It's not the main source of money for me, so it gets treated as passive income. Something that I did, I put it up on the thing, and then I go do other things. And whatever I get from it is what I get from it. But going out of my way to promote, like, I'll go hard for Bandcamp, and that's where it stops. Bandcamp, outside of these other platforms, right? And of course, my website first and foremost. But streaming is just passive income. For some artists, it's their main source of income. And for those artists, if you're watching, that's a dangerous model, fam. Because when you're hot, it works out. But the moment they decide to change the algorithm, adjust their platform, stop paying when you don't hit 1,000 plays, so all those tracks that made $3 and some change, and let's say you got a couple hundred songs out, and maybe only like 50 to 100 of your songs really do that amount of plays per year. This is not most artists, right, who are even in this situation. The bulk of artists aren't making a lot of anything, right? Indie artists mostly. So yeah, just keeping this in mind, man. I can go on this stuff. I spend a lot of time talking about this stuff behind the scenes with classes, speaking engagements, things like that. So I ain't trying to nerd out right now for those of you who are just like, hey fam, I just play music. I don't even care what you talking about, son. But yeah, it's just good for folks to know. I'm gonna read a couple of more of these. I'm still playing catch up, and then we playing a song. Can you list your 3 of your fave inspirational MCs when you were growing up? No particular order. Inspirational MCs is the key. So Common would be in that list. A source of inspiration. in terms of inspiring me, not just on a personal growth level, but on a skill level too. I would throw Redman in the mix. He was one of my faves as well. So probably Nas, Redman, and Common are the first three that come to mind in terms of inspiration. If I threw groups in the mix though, De La Soul, Outkast, Wu-Tang, Tribe Called Quest. Those are the first four that come to mind. I know that was more than three. But yeah, those are the folks that just off the top of my head that immediately come to mind. Not including acts I actually know. If I include acts I know, Kokai, huge inspiration, a lot of guidance and things I've learned from him over the years, and just what type of dude he is, the man and father he is, the husband he is, also the artist he is. Huge inspiration. He's given me a lot of guidance in all of those fronts. Tone Deaf, you know what I mean? Another inspiration, a lot of guidance and support from that brother. Shout out to Odyssey. Learned a lot from our time that we spent together when we were spending a little more time together or working together more. Another one, shout out to YU. YU's probably one of my favorite acts in the DMV to listen to. Probably one of the dopest MCs, period, honestly. If y'all haven't listened to YU, check out a project called the 1978ers. That album, man, People of Today, one of the best albums that mellow music ever dropped that does not get the love it should get. It's hands down one of the best records that label has ever dropped. But yeah, shout out to him, the homies Godzilla, and then also Joe D. Shout out to him as well. All right, let's keep it moving. Hope the unreleased song wins. Yes, it did. Wouldn't mind hearing a live rap later on, though, especially if it's Steph, Javier, Early Bird, or whoever can get guest star. Not a bad idea. I remember you speaking on that track with old dude and Sice, and he didn't pay. Crazy. Yeah, man. Yeah, F that dude. I hope, as I said that, he like stubbed his toe on something. You know what I'm saying? Like, what they say on Chappelle's show, it's like, I hate your guts. I hope all the bad things in life happen to you and nobody else but you. You know what I mean? It ain't to that level, but I think I'm more annoyed about that situation because he came to us through somebody I'm still cool with to this day. And I did it off the strength of them because the artist himself wasn't even asking us. It was his man who I'm still tight with, who asked. And so what that could have did to our relationship is what really has me heated about it. It's like, yo, you don't even care enough about your man. They used to live together, fam. You don't even care enough about your own people. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just really speaks to what type of person this dude was, man. And so that was super lame. And it wasn't just me he did dirty, he did Marcus D dirty as well. You on a track with Elzai and Guapale would have been dope. Yeah, man, perfect world, in a perfect world. Also, does recording and rapping give you satisfaction in different ways as opposed to producing? What does one do for you that the other can't? I probably get the most satisfaction out of rapping because there's always things on my mind that I don't always get to speak on. But when I rhyme, I get to do that. Producing is fun. I love seeing ideas come together, but it's more of like an abstract thing, right? Where it's like I might create it with certain intention, and rap can kind of be this way too. But it's almost like with the beat when I make it, it's kind of left like I have less control over like the public really knowing, or the people who take it in really knowing what was going through my mind when I made it. Versus rapping, like there's a clear idea, and even that sometimes can be up for interpretation, or is always up for interpretation. So, but I probably get the most out of rapping. Producing though, I enjoy it in a lot of ways, man. I just something just to watch people nod their head and vibe out to it. It's beautiful to kind of witness, but the impact, my love language is words of affirmation. So rapping typically makes people speak to me in a different way than when they hear my beats, in terms of what my impact has been on them through my art. So yeah, man, y'all on one today, boy. Man, these man with these talks of collabs, I definitely have to listen to Pitter Patter again. Yeah, Pitter Patter was a slept on joint. Shout out to that kid, man. Kid Jay. One last question. If you had to put it into a rough percentage, how often would you say you punch in your lines versus spitting the entire verse / hook? It's something I struggle with deciding. I am not one of these people who are anti-punching, right? It's if I just wrote it, like I just wrote it. You know what I mean? If I just wrote the thing, I don't expect to nail everything perfectly. And a lot of times what people don't consider is they don't write their verses in a way that accurately reflects what their physical ability is. Hear what I'm saying. People oftentimes do not write in a way that reflects what your physical ability actually is. And so outside of the fact that you memorize it or not, there's certain artists that you can tell even when they memorize it, they're running short on breath. They're struggling to get through it because when they wrote it, they didn't consider what they're physically and what they're actually physically capable of doing. So there's a compromise. So that's where punching comes in, right? Like where if I'm not going to edit it in a way that allows me to breathe the way I need to breathe so I can say the lines as clearly as possible or give the words enough space to come through as clearly as possible and not sacrifice flow, breath control, and all these things. If I don't write in that way, then more than likely I'm going to need to punch. And that tends to happen a lot when I write in a day and then go record. You know what I mean? So just something to keep in mind. So now that I'm older, I try to write in a way that keeps in mind what I'm physically capable of doing. Because I write all of my songs knowing that I potentially could be performing this someday, right? That's why you don't hear me rapping over my own vocals when I perform for y'all live, because I wrote it knowing that I could do this live. You see what I'm saying? So just something to say. Look, take it how you want. I ain't out here throwing shade, but man, if the shoe fit, put that shit on, walk it out. I'll come for y'all next time. Hey, peace. What's going on, family? Welcome. The business model changed when Napster came in my opinion. Touring or doing TV, commercials, movies actually brings in money. Yeah, and even all of that stuff. If you sign a 360 deal, the label takes a piece of all of that. So they get a cut of all of that if you sign a 360 deal. So it just really depends on what your situation is. Hey, Mrs. Robinson. I'm sorry. My voice changed. I'm sorry. We got company. I'll talk to you in a minute. She's speaking facts right now. The wife spitting. YU was dope. Brown liquor voice. One of the best voices ever. All right. I think you accidentally missed my first question. My bad. Drop it in there again and I got you. I'll answer it after I play the song though. I would love to hear you do something with Knife Wonder. Would have been dope too, man. I know Knife Wonder really rocked with my homies Godzilla. I feel his beats fit your flow perfectly. Yeah, man, I like Knife. Knife is dope. All right, you're welcome, fam. That's dope. I write without thinking about the performance all the time. I think that's most MCs because we don't want to feel certain limitations, right? Because it's a form of expression. So we just want to express ourselves honestly. But I'm also a professional performer, songwriter, this, that, and the third. So I don't mind the boxes, the challenges, the limitations. There's nothing we do in life that doesn't come without some type of obstacle, right? So that being said, even expression falls into that. You are limited sometimes by what you can physically do. And I'm just conscious of it. So because I'm conscious of it, I write with that in mind. And that's why I think like over time when people feel like my flow has gotten better, it's because I'm more aware of what I can do and what I can't do. And I leverage the skills I have in a way that like when you see me perform live, the only struggle you might see me have is sometimes with like me losing my voice if you've seen me after I've been torn for 2 weeks or something like that. You know what I mean? Sub is fired up today. In another life, I'm sure Stan was a minister. When you used to teach, what's something your students taught you? I still teach, for the record. I still teach. Teach music business classes. I got a class next Wednesday. The week after that, I start my lectures back up at Omega Recording Studios for the arts and sciences. So I still teach, for the record. Something my students taught me. Sometimes it's been little things about, technology and stuff like that, making me aware of certain technology or apps I didn't know exist. Other times it's been, like maybe kind of lessons about things that they didn't really say. I just kind of learned through their actions and stuff, right? And so like kind of like what I've learned with audiences, right? Sometimes you think that it's funny. A teacher said this to me. A teacher basically made me conscious of what students were actually doing. And this older teacher said, remember, baby, more is caught than taught, right? So it's not about what you say. It's more so about what you do. And then another thing that you will hear other teachers, veteran teachers, tell each other or tell the young generation coming up, they was like, they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And what I noticed, man, in particular when I was at Oxon Hill Middle, because I was at that school for like nearly 8 years, how many students like just were kind of watching me outside of just hearing how I would speak to them and, how I greet them every day. Peace, king, peace, queen, this, that, and the third, check in with them, tell dad jokes at lunchtime, all the silly stuff. But yo, like, they see how I carry myself. Like if I was on the phone with my wife or whatever and students were present, which happens every now and then, they were listening to that. My daughters come to the school, they listen to that. I remember a thing, man, like, and so they just taught me to always be on. And I don't want to say it like I'm always with a mask and I'm always like, hey, everybody. Like, nah, it's more so like be conscious of how you're walking through the world because someone's always watching. And that doesn't mean change who I am. It just means that as long as I'm able to, I should always be doing my part to be my best self. Right. And I fall short of that. Everyone does. But I think that's the biggest lesson I took away from my students because time and time again, man, like they write letters to me that they give because they were nervous about saying it to me. So they write me messages and stuff about what type of man they saw me as and how that affected them. A lot of young men would do that. And then, man, I'm trying to keep it together. But I remember one day this little girl at the school came. It was like they were supposed to dress as their heroes. And so she came in. She had a button up on. Because at the school, I wear my little cardigans. I had like buttons, button ups, bow ties and ties. And then I had like some crazy sneakers or whatever to coordinate with the joint. Find a way to still be me and keep it hip hop while looking professional. And yo, like, so it was dress up as your hero day. And the kids come in as different heroes and stuff like that. But one little girl, she came in with a little button up and a bow tie. And the teacher was like, who are you supposed to be? She was like, Mr. Robinson. Yo. Yeah, man. Yeah. Crazy. That picture pops up on my my little like the photos on my TV every now and then. So yeah, man, more is caught than taught. Just, always put your best self forward, man, like cuz you never know who's watching you and what it means to them, how it's going to inspire them, how it motivates them to push through and be their best self. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. All right. Yeah, it's heavy, yo. Just think about that joint. Gotta go make breakfast. Peace, sis. I'll be listening in for the track. All right, let me play this track. And then I gotta get out of here because we've been rocking for about an hour and a half. All right, joint queued up. No, I've played a couple joints, man. I've been giving y'all snippets of this joint for a little minute. All right, here we go. Okay, I'm trying to think of one y'all ain't heard a piece of yet. Yeah, definitely ain't playing that one yet for you. All right. I'm gonna play you a piece of a joint. Yeah, that mix way too rough. All right, I'll let you hear a snippet of this joint called "Say It Again." All right, let's see. Calm down, stomach. If you hear the sound effects in the background, that is not the board. That is my stomach going crazy, son. All right, here we go. This is a snippet of a joint called "Say It Again." On the album, it actually features one below, but I'm gonna just let y'all hear the first verse and the hook. Produced by Marcus D. This is from the upcoming Bop Alloy joint. All right, here we go.
Why would I limit my potential? Cause you don't live up to yours. Carry you over thresholds after opening doors. Continue to sit in silence when you ain't using your voice. And lessen who I am as if that's even a choice. Trying to guilt me into shrinking to act like the bigger man. Beg me for help in private and public, don't need a hand. It's everybody's fault but your own when you fail. Demand respect from everyone that you don't show yourself. Your feelings don't outweigh mine, not my job to protect them. If they ain't based on truth, then I ain't gotta respect them. Wanna be on my level, it's clear you not in the spectrum, simply running in place and never gaining momentum. Been perpetually idle, but wanna stand next to idols. How are you so entitled when you barely got a title? Wifey said I shouldn't trifle with you, boys should've listened. Your disposition screams you wish you were in my position, man. Listen, I say it again. I'm here to bring the truth, I ain't here to pretend. Can't worry about who my presence offends. As long as God got me, I ain't scared of no men. I said what I said and I say it again. I'm here to bring the truth, I ain't here to pretend. Can't worry about who my presence offends. As long as God got me, I ain't scared of no men. Yeah, listen, brother, don't let them flatter you. All they need is butter.
That's all you're gonna get of one below. You gotta say something for the album. But yeah, man. Man, oh man. Shout out to Marcus D. When I heard that beat, I was like, good googly muggly. Take it back to when I was a kid. Good googly muggly. That joint, boy. Crazy. But yeah, that verse, I had fun writing that joint. That beat was fire. Go to these comments real quick. We'll start with these responses to the beat, and then we'll go to these comments I missed before. Man, thank y'all. Appreciate the love, man. Glad y'all digging that joint. Fire. Appreciate it. Oh, man. Master, you are great. Thank you for all you do. Man, I appreciate you. I don't know about that bastard stuff, man. I appreciate you, family. I appreciate the love. Thank you. You and One Below on the track. Fire. Yeah, and One Below kills it too, man. My stomach is super disrespectful. Yeah, I don't know if y'all can hear it, but it was doing the most. It was definitely doing the most. Man, these tariffs kicking in. We used to get 3 hours. Oh, yeah. Hey, man, I said earlier, it's about time management. And so I got to go. Y'all already got, we used to just get hour shows before, Warpath, you and whoever else would come in asking me these questions, knowing damn well I'm long-winded. You know what I mean? And that's how y'all start taking advantage. You know what I mean? It speaks on how much it means to. It speaks to how much it means to you, bro. People like you are the best kind of teachers, man. Jesus, thank you, man. I appreciate it, family. Thank you for that. Hey, Mrs. Robinson. I don't know if she's still here. I just figured. Googly moogly. All right, man, let me get out of here. Yo, I hope y'all had a great time today, man. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. So, yeah, man, again, if you can come out to WBL Fest, please do. For those of you in the DMV area, it's going to be a great time and stuff. Steph, I don't know if you're going to be around, but it'd be great to see you out there, sis. But, yeah, that's all I got for y'all, man. Y'all be good. Take care of yourselves, your folks, all that good stuff, man. And stay positive, man. I know we are in crazy times. I normally don't come on here like going super hard about all the things happening in politics and everything wrong with the world. My goal is always to add a bit of balance and try to balance out a lot of the negative energy that we get out here. But obviously this stuff is affecting me and mine too. To all of that, I say, man, look, it goes back to what I was saying before. At all times, put forth your best effort to be your best self. We can't control what other people's do or what other people do. But what we can do is make sure that we are being the best version of ourselves at all times, and lead by example. For some people, like some people are just talking or doing or putting things in place to make life extremely difficult. For others, they do not care about, and while taking care of whoever's closest to them. It's a very common thing. But, you know, for a lot of us, we think about ourselves and who we're closest to as we move through the world, but we also consider the impact of what we do and how it affects everyone, right? Of course, you take care of yourself and your own first and foremost, but I'm always moving through the world thinking about how my decisions impact others as well, more than just me. And I can't be there for everybody, right? I still got to put me in mind first. Those are the folks I'm accountable for. But I think, man, if we consider how the things we do can affect the entire human family in every aspect of how we live our life, how we speak to people, how we drive, how we walk through the street, all of these things, man. If we took a little more time to care about more than just us, right? Just us as individuals, I think we'd all be better for it. You know what I mean? I try to show up here consistently and do this show like as close to noon as possible because I said I was going to do a thing, and I do my best to, you know, be consistent, because I know for sometimes it's not just the fact that I know some of y'all look forward to this. I told my wife last week, she was like, well, how do you feel? Do you feel like you need to do the show? Do you want? I told her, I was like, sometimes doing the show is less about keeping my word to y'all and more about I feel better after spending time with y'all, watching y'all converse with each other. You know, watch how y'all check in with each other, the things y'all say to me, the things you say to each other in the community. It makes me feel better about where we are as a people. You know what I mean? So, you know, I appreciate y'all, man, and just take care of yourselves, man. Take care of everybody around you. You know, consider what it is you contribute to the world and how it impacts more than just you and the people you see. And now my stomach's cue to, hey, feed me, son. And so on that note, I'm out of here, man. Y'all be good. Time for my daughter's favorite part of the show, my youngest daughter's favorite part of the show. Who made it to the end? You made it to the end. All right. Peace, y'all. Who made it to the end? Who made it to the end? You made it to the end. Who made it to the end? Who made it to the end? You made it to the end. Yo, 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 yo. Who made it to the end? You made it to the end. Who made it to the end? You made it to the end. Who made it to the end? You made it to the end. Yo, 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 yo. Subscribe, like, do whatever you like. Stay subscribed, like, do whatever you like. That's right.